Chris Eubank Sr. delivers honest verdict on Conor Benn's ability ahead of fight with his son. As their fight draws ever nearer, the boxing abilities of Chris Eubank Jr. and Conor Benn are coming under close comparison. Eubank Jr. has never been a big one-punch knockout artist, despite stopping the likes of Liam Smith and Kamil Saramita in his last 2 fights. He has stopped 25 of his 37 opponents so far, but when coming up against better opposition such as former world champions George Groves, James DeGale and Billy Joe Saunders, he has lost on points. Only once has he been stopped himself, and that was his first fight with Smith back in January 2023. Benn meanwhile has stopped 14 of his 23 opponents, but most of those have been on the way up against lesser names. His best KO wins came against Samuel Vargas and Chris Algieri, but he tested positive for a performance-enhancing drug ahead of his first proposed fight with Eubank Jr. in October 2022. Jr.'s father Chris Eubank Sr. has now offered his take on the ability of Benn, as whilst speaking on his own Call Chris Eubank channel, Sr. was asked if he agreed that Conor is a better fighter than Nigel Benn was. That makes no sense. It makes no sense because effectively over the last 3 years, he's had 3 fights because of some type of drug accusation. Not just an accusation, he was found to have substances in his body that were illegal. If the fight were to happen, to have 3 fights in 3 years, and what were you before that? What did you do to make everyone say, well, this is a brilliant fighter? You didn't get anywhere. You were building yourself, and while building yourself, someone juiced you up. I'd like some feedback from the audience. Who could have done this to Conor? You didn't get a chance to actually get off onto your own platform and building yourself into a great fighter that I think you could have been. As my son says, everything is just about money, Dad. Again I say, help me, son. Plenty in the boxing world are making their predictions for this fight on April 26, with many siding with Eubank, the naturally bigger man who will be making Benn come up in weight to meet him at 160 pounds at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium.